Alrighty, we are recording in the normal format. Welcome back to Good Evening from Korea. It's Overlord Pop Tart back at you again from the computer. You may notice, the eagle-eyed viewers among you, there's a little bit more green behind me because I spent like 25 to 30 minutes scooting my wall hanging. Ooh, my arm popped. Scooting my wall hanging back and forth. So hopefully that's better. Alright, let me throw it in the intro, just out of tradition, because why not? Good evening from Korea. I also am going to try to make this quicker, just to make it easier on myself to edit, and to make it easier on my internet because still bad. Okay, so I have a list here that I'm going to read through. So started out with my day, got cleaned up, had some lactose inclusive milk, which hasn't been bothering me too bad, luckily. Just some burps and stuff, so no biggie. Had some lactose included milk with my cereal just to eat breakfast, got about my day. My mother texted me saying she had to take the Volvo to a mechanic because it just started really dying. And turns out there's a bunch of stuff in the gas pump system that needs to be done. There's like 3 different parts in there, and somehow they're all $400. But you can't see my other arm, but it's also up in freaking camera angles. I was talking the other episode about mirroring things being difficult. It's annoying, but arms up into the air. I surrender. European parts are expensive. This is a Volvo S60R. There's not a lot of Volvo S60s out there, so there aren't a lot of parts for them, and there aren't a lot of technicians to put them in. So I pride myself on liking cars. Liking cars means that as a requisite of that, you have to pretend like you're getting the best deal possible on cars. So I looked up some of the parts, at very least the masked airflow sensor matched up in terms of prices, just to make sure they weren't blowing it up and buying from the most expensive source. But I didn't put a lot of research into it, I'll admit it, but it seemed legit. It's $3,000, which is a lot of money. That's true. But I actually got the car at a pretty acceptable price. It's just a lot of stuff went wrong on it at once. And you know what? If nothing wrong on it, if nothing goes wrong on it for a while, then that's fine. And honestly, if it does, whatever. European car, European performance car, European high output engine performance car, there's gonna be things that break on it. That's life. So honestly, I was more happy that she was able to find a mechanic that was able to do the work. And they seem intelligent, so sent them a very long email of everything I could think of that was even a little bit broken with the car. And you know what? If they add more onto the cost, but they fix those things, cool, perfect. I will gladly pay more if I can have a perfect car instead of paying less and having a pretty good car when I get back from Korea. Because there's less than 3 months until I'm back home. And if I can come back and sit down into a car where everything is spick and span, not a rattle to be heard, yes, please. That's why I have savings. I will gladly put them into the car. I would rather not. I would rather it just be perfectly functioning all the time, every time. But vehicles don't work like that, unfortunately, so oh well. I may have to put a good amount of money into it. But I still haven't done my taxes, so I still got the tax return coming. Need to figure that out. Once I got to the office, I was working on audio for the UNC video. Just last touch-ups, last little bits and bobs to clean up, making sure that all the levels were equal. And that went really well. That went really quickly. I actually really enjoyed it because editing is my thing. I don't mess with audio very much, and it's very satisfying in my mind to edit, which is good because I edit these videos a lot. So I did that for most of the morning. I ended up driving a coworker to a little thing she had to go do to get some paperwork. She was feeling sick that day, so when I dropped her off, I was like, stay home. The sergeant was telling you to stay home. The other sergeant was telling you to stay home. Most of your coworkers are telling you to stay home. You feel sick. Acknowledge that and stay home. And she ended up staying home after lunch, which is good. So hopefully she gets some rest. After I dropped her off at the barracks, I went back, picked everybody up, and as we were driving the van, which has no radio, as you may remember, we had this thing, which is a speaker that I found under the seats, which I assume means that they just haven't gotten the radio fixed in forever if they fully went and bought an old... This speaker is old. This speaker has seen some stuff. So it has been months at the very least that this radio has been broken and they just haven't repaired it. That says a lot about how people treat their equipment in the Army. Ugh. Hate. So much hate. So much hate for people like that. I want to fix things. I am not intelligent enough to fix things. But in situations where I am intelligent enough to fix things, they immediately get fixed. Those situations are just very rare. Anyway, as I was driving, I got sidetracked. As I was driving with this little thing, we used it a lot, and it's a pretty solid speaker for the size of it. And I was listening to some good music, some Tupperware Remix Party, that kind of thing. Very funky, groovy, synthwave. Kind of, well, not synthwave, but they use some synth stuff. Good music. In my opinion, good music. That's not the song recommendation of the day. Actually, I'll just throw that in now. The song recommendation of the day was a song that was shared to me by someone online. Traveling Soldier by the Dixie Chicks. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't like the Dixie Chicks as artists because they sing one song that my sister and mother love. I'll look that one up as well, and that will decide whether or not I enjoy the Dixie Chicks. Well, not if I enjoy the Dixie Chicks, but if I can stand the Dixie Chicks. If they wrote Goodbye Earl, then no. Because they sound like they wrote Goodbye Earl. I didn't look it up, but editor me, give us a shot. Did Dixie Chicks do it? Goodbye Earl, Dixie Chicks?
Here are some details.
Yep. Anyway, but that'll be the song recommendation of the day. But we were listening to good music as we were driving around in the van, dropped everybody off after lunch, ended up exporting the video a total of 3 times, the UNC video, in 3 different ways because at the last minute, me and the major decided like, hey, you know what? We'll put credits on the bottom, on the back end of it. So now my name is officially on that video. And so is my coworker's name. And he was fair about it. He wasn't like, no, unequal. No. It was produced and narrated by me. It was edited and directed by him, his name first, and me. And then a special thanks to the major as a co-producer. So I got my name where it should be. As producer, the kind of main guy, narrator, which is what I was, and co-editor and co-director, which my name could have been first on that, but I wanted to be nice. I put so much time into that video. Anyway, point is, it's done. It's over. Complete. If the 4-star general wants to say, no, actually, I'd like to change some things, then, yeah, PFC, Private First Class Me, he's going to be changing some things. But for right now, with all the other general suggestions followed, they like it. And now it's got music. Provided they like the music, they'll like it more. So I'm not too nervous about it, actually. I wasn't even worried about it till now. I don't even think I'm worried about it now. So that video is done. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going to the CBurn, which is our chemical stuff, and trying to figure out the CBurn stuff because it kept getting put off for the UNC video. Then I'm also contacting the building maintenance so that I can fix my leaky shower or ceiling or toilet. Who knows? I don't. And pulling out some money for a sweatshirt, a hoodie, for a hoodie that my captain made for my unit that I got one of. I think that's just about everything from today. I should mention we do have a name for the dog given by the same person who recommended the song. Thank you very much. This is Moxie. I think I'm going to spell it Moxie, just like the soda, if you remember from the room tour, the soda poster. So this is Moxie. I think it's actually pretty alright. Because I remember I mentioned as well, the last blue heeler, and we think this is a blue heeler, that I had in my life, her name was Maggie. She was my grandma's dog, and she was a great dog. And so Moxie can kind of be the, she can kind of be the next one in throne. She'll be a she, because I don't think Moxie is a dude's name. Anyway, I think that is everything for today. I'm doing laundry, but that's not interesting. Oh, we got to do football for PT, by the way. That was just before I got home. After all the stuff got sorted out and figured out as to what I would do tomorrow, we went and did tag football for PT. And I can't catch. Well, I caught one, but out of many. I can't throw. I can't really kick. But Lordy Lou, I can stop you from going wherever you want to go. Everyone but the sergeant, and I still blocked off the sergeant once or twice. Because my arms, they are quite long, and they're quite lanky and noodly. And I use my noodly flaily energy to just kind of onto people. Like there was one person who was trying to throw the ball, and the last time I was on defense for a thing, it was basketball. So my just knee-jerk reaction was just to look at this like 5 foot tall human being in front of me and just my arms up into the air. And she was just like, oh, like threw the ball. But like she had to throw it really like an arc, like up. It wasn't like a solid throw like that. And so it didn't go anywhere. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Sorry, I should have blocked that shot. I don't know how to play this sport. And she was just like, you scare me. I was like, okay, I guess that's success. Because again, don't know how to play that sport. But anytime anybody came near me, it was just like, you're not getting past me. Towards the end, Sergeant had to start taking the ball from the other people because they weren't going past me. Because, I mean, when you have like 7 feet of like wingspan, you're going to catch somebody in that grab. So that was a lot of fun to do. I just wish I could throw a football. Dad has taught me. I credit him with that. Yes, sure. Weirdly enough, my youngest sister can still throw a football way better than me. Like, she could whip a football like how I whip a baseball. Like, she has such a handle on that. I remember throwing that around in the yard, and she was just and just bullet that thing at me, and I would be like, meh, it's not a basketball. How do I grab it? Like, just struggling with it as she's just NFL just so there you go, Macy. there's your compliment of the day. You can smoke me in football. So I was taught, I never got the hang of it, and like 5 years after the last time I had a lesson, I sure as heck didn't retain any of that information. All right, I gotta end this. Whatever time it is for you out there in this fun, funky, football-playing world of ours. Whether it be a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night that you may or may not be currently experiencing, I sincerely hope that it is good, and if it is not good, I sincerely hope that your situation improves. Call now for $19.95 shipping in 5 free, easy installments, and also you have to deal with handling as well. Handling is a different thing to shipping because it's like $30 extra, and also you still have to buy the product, which is $120, but you can pay $120  4 times if you don't want to pay the full price of $480. I miss old commercials. Oh, wait, yeah. Stay frosty.